When our explorers first arrived in this solar system, they had no idea it was already inhabited. We were a team of researchers tasked with extracting planetary cores and breaking them down into components to fuel our expansion. Back then, Saturn had no rings, and we identified a promising candidate for extraction. We scanned the system and sent out signals on all known frequencies to detect life, but found no signs. So, we began the extraction process. Out of nowhere, a vast armada of warships emerged from near the system's sun. Our research vessel managed to send out a distress signal before it was torn apart by the particle stream of the planet's core dissolution, which would eventually form Saturn's ring. 500 years later, our war fleet arrived, crewed mostly by the descendants of the research team, seeking answers about the fate of their ancestors. The fleet approached the old distress signal, which was still emitting. Our advanced scanners detected life forms as giants, with a much lower body temperature, moving infrequently. They recognized our kind immediately, and the war between our species began. Our fleet was better equipped, larger, and more powerful, but the enemy was resilient, massive, and numerous. Wave after wave was obliterated, and we lost just as many fighters. Eventually, we stood before their home planet, what you now call the barren desert of Mars. We fired 3 gigantic iron spikes at hypersonic speed into Mars's core, causing it to bleed out. Mars was incinerated in minutes, and the remaining ice giants fled to their feeding ground, the potato-shaped planet you call Earth. There was a brief counterattack as the moons of Mars directed energy weapons at us, but a single spike for each target was enough to destroy them. Then, silence fell, with debris scattered everywhere. Today, you call this ancient battlefield the asteroid belt. As we assessed the fleet's condition and initiated repairs, we used advanced AI, and the survivors entered hypersleep. A small crew remained on watch, observing the planet for any unusual activity. After some time, we realized that repairs couldn't be completed without gold and quartz. Occasionally, we saw small spacecraft of the ice giants, which were destroyed by our automated defenses. We discovered that Earth had ample supplies of gold and quartz. However, the planet was inhabited by the ice giants and gigantic lizards. We decided on a drastic step. The planet's gravity was too low for our kind, and it spun too quickly. The remnants of Mars's core were shaped into a shell and mostly filled with water, then placed in orbit like a satellite near Earth. The forces between the new moon and Earth caused both to burn until, after another 500 years, they reached equilibrium. Our plan worked. The planet now had optimal conditions. Yet, the ice giants had apparently survived and began creating smaller, adapted clones of themselves, which started to rebel. Over time, these two peoples further developed the planet, and ice barriers protected regions from floods. It was like an invitation. They seemed to have forgotten us. We shattered the ice barriers, unleashing a deluge that drowned most of the ice giants and their clones. Then, we seized the opportunity to infiltrate Earth, taking the entire planet and enslaving the remaining ice giants. We altered our genes for better compatibility with Earth. Once we had enough gold and quartz, we repaired the main ship. Part of the crew returned, but some stayed behind, as resources were insufficient for everyone. That was over 2,000 years ago. Now, the descendants of those who remained have integrated with the planet, living among the remnants of the ice giants and their creations. The once great war has faded into legend, and the new inhabitants of Earth continue to evolve, unaware of the ancient conflict that shaped their world.